The silent scream for Neeta Devichand, who touched our lives briefly, like the breeze from distant hills, then went away to die alone in a room somewhere in the world, to the one who has never gone away. I was shooting for the film Ankahi when I decided to visit a mental hospital in order to study for my role. I remember when I came out of those premises, I was literally sapped of all energy. I felt as if I had taken a great beating. The 4 hours that I spent inside the women's ward left me completely enervated. I started wondering what it would be like for all those women to be left in there behind those walls with no hope of getting out ever. Later, I went back to work on a film script. It was the winter of 1993. The film was to be about an actress playing a mentally disturbed woman and how the role starts to affect her. This time, I lived with the women inside the ward. This visit stretched to more than 2 weeks. It was a very trying time for me. I got to watch the women at close quarters, a few of them even intimately. Suddenly, I was confronted with so much pain on the faces of women telling the stories of their lives. भावुक होइएगा तभी तो पागल होइएगा ना. Only if you're highly emotional can you become mad. One woman would keep saying that to me each time she saw me. I realized that the world of the mentally disturbed was also the world of the starkly real, the world of the hypersensitive, the world of the unabashedly honest. I also realized that there were a lot of women who were not mad, but were simply dumped in there for life because no one wanted them back. Even though they were medically treated and, inverted commas, cured, no one would ever come to take them home. They were discarded by family and were doomed to spend the rest of their lives within the walls of a mental asylum. 2 weeks of watching them, listening to them, talking to them, changed my perception of the world in a strange, irrevocable way. An acute level of sensitivity to a point where it becomes addictive, to a point where when you return to the sane world, you find everything shallow and a put on. You start missing the realness of the asylum. Outside, everyone says and does what they think they should be saying or doing. But within the walls of a disturbed ward, there are no should-bes. These people are on the outside, what they truly feel within. No mask, no facade. I was able to put down a lot of the material into my script, yet a few images still floated in my head. A few fragmented images that inspired these poems. I would like to share these words with you. The mask. It ached and itched. It grazed her skin, had now begun to deface her. One day, when no one looked, she quietly pulled it off, folded it carefully, and put it away on the shelf. After that day, no one ever recognized her. Wind struck. The white face fell, cracked on the glass floor. Just one light shaft cut across the silence. They've swept away pieces of a fragmented body and laid to waste a brilliant mind. She stands at one end of the veranda. A naked bulb glows at the other end, staining the dark floor with dull yellow light. Beyond the empty ward, drag echoes of the autumn night. From pillar to pillar, in severe silence, skulk slithering shadows. Out alone in the cold she stands, night after night, fighting her demons. Her body, frail and brittle, flaps leaf-like on two glass feet. The torched face broken, then tacked together so bluntly the ragged joints show. Hounded eyes that do not blink. Frozen in a death-like glaze, her fragile spirit splintered. These are not the features she was born with. This is the face we gave her. Wild night howls across the dazed courtyard. Through a maze of red blankets, one stark eye stares, cuts through me. I want to look away, turn around, run. But how can I? She's 80, perhaps 100, they say. At the far end of Murgagni ward, where brilliant sunlight splits the veranda into two, she sits on a bench in unnerving calm, holding a stick, looking inward. Horror simmers just below the surface. The tragic act moves beyond caricature. Limping on a stick, she bolts towards you in feverish intensity, holding you there, confronting you, all eyes, nerves, body, in a single frenzied gesture, hacking the neck, cutting the raw nerve, splitting the body into two. One fatal blow after another, the man first, then her babies. That's how she'd done it. Violent and frenzied, the thin blue metallic hand flashes nervously across the gaunt shaven head, her stark eyes glistening. Bewildered at her own act, the old wrinkled face crumbles. Astounded you stare, don't dare move. In her triumph, she's all child, all Satan, wretched mother, truly Medea, creator, destroyer, glowing in her pain. Over and over she mimes the brutal act till they drive her away and drag her back to the far end of Murgagni ward. The stick clacks, drops to the floor. A blue metallic hand lies trembling on a feeble thigh. Brought in at 20, 60 years in the bin, where brilliant sunlight splits the veranda into two. She sits tied to the bench in unnerving calm, holding a stick, looking inward. hounded by the one dark memory she lives to forget. You put the candles out and smashed the glass windows. With bruised fingers, you sat in a corner amidst books, dust, unwashed laundry, love letters, and waited forever for the telephone to ring. Outside, the shattered frames splashed vibrant colors, holy. Inside, a streak of deep crimson flowed thickly on the floor. I lie there in the dark interior of sticky, slimy womb and watch with glee the water drain out drop by drop till the very end. I am the fetus that pricks the sac which holds me, gives me life. I am the child of darkness, dead before I am born. I am Durga. I am Kali, the goddess. No one can conquer me. She pulled the crown off the idol's head and wore it on herself. The crowds were aghast. They swore at her, chased her with sticks, stones, screams. But she slipped into the wilds, flying beyond their reach. At the magic hour when sun and rain dazzled the earth, she danced and skipped, jumped and leaped, chasing a single rainbow. Light-footed she glided through the celestial landscape. Wearing her cheap silver crown, she tripped the light luminous. I'm Durga. I'm Kali. A frog leapt in the slush. She lunged towards it, caught it. Croaky frog twitching in her left hand, stick in the right, a tinsel crown aslant her forehead. She was one with the elements, with earth, with sky, with slush, with trees, with breeze, dancing, mesmerizing her gods. Her laughter gurgled in the wind. Her laughter gurgled in the wind, her feet spinning the good earth. And then the villagers got her, caught her by her feet, dragged her through the sludge. Frog, stick, crown dragged behind, straggled on the muddy track. She's too dangerous to be left free. They signed on a piece of paper, dumped her in the loony bin, wiped the vermilion off her forehead, chopped the long black hair, raised it to scalp, locked her behind the solid grill, left her squalling on the cold, dank floor. Now when the sky is overcast and the earth is wet and brown, she walks down the courtyard, blue-templed and dead-eyed. The cardboard crown trails behind her. None make a sound. Hey, listen. Untie me, will you? Open these knots, please. Sister, don't go. Quiet. Untie me, please. Let me go. They're hurting me. Quiet, I said. They're tearing my ears. They're tearing my ears. No one is doing that. Sit. They're only removing your earrings. No, my ears. See. Sit or I'll smack your face. There. Now be a good girl. Sister, what? If I give them my ears, will they let me go then? In the chill of the winter night, walking the eerie length, corridor after corridor, chasing a single scream. Splashes of scarlet spill into the night. Curled up bodies in rows of frayed blankets behind the locked doors lie sedated, drugged to sleep. All is still, as in still life, except for one wretched scream. Stop! Somebody stop her! Where are the attendants, the strong butch women? A girl needs help out there, damn it. Torch in hand, one gloomy length after another, I pace through the dark, through fog, through fear, through stark verandas slashed by light. Sounds of my footsteps echo from other wards. Mindlessly I follow from pillar to pillar bizarre patterns of light on the black and white tiles. Till finally, at the end of night, trapped within the spotlight, the scream crashes into silence. One terrified eye, amidst a mesh of groping hands, stares at the barred window, does not blink. My hand shakes. The torch flickers. I'm startled by the resemblance. Who is this woman? Where have I seen this face before? Wounded, she growled, animal-like, wrenching her head from within her knees, stretching, reaching out for her God. Extreme anguish left her face expressionless. Waves in frenzy, a sudden splitting of the blue sky. Galaxies within crackle. Shards. Then, a death-like stillness they call calm. The lunatic is out on a wall. She sits there in the cold, counting twigs. The light has passed through her brain. She's illuminated, she says. The river runs through the left vein of her bandaged wrist. She has swallowed a fistful of dreams. Her gut reeks of Milky Ways. Turquoise pebbles play in her skull. A cold, dry wind wafts, stirs leaves around. The ward is silent now. All screeching has died down. Only one sound remains. It's the last call. Siren for sanity. The lunatic will not get off the wall. She's out on a call. The light has passed through her brain. She is illuminated, she says. The lunatic is out on a wall, prodded by the attendant's call. It is her turn tonight. Through the courtyard, nudged and pushed in the dark, she's shoved against a wall, too dizzy to figure out why. 3 pairs of hands pluck at her scanty breasts. The stink of obscenities cloud her ears. Before she knows, she's yanked to the floor. Unseen hands ram fingers into her skin. Her head reels in slow motion. Her eyes are a fixed glaze. What is that beyond the tree? A pale disk rocks in the bare branch. A pallid god looks on. It's quick and easy, and she's done with. No bruises, no gashes, only her head rolls back in the grass, weightless. What is it? This awesome thing. 3 pairs of legs scramble across the wall, disappear into the night. She's left on the floor with this sticky thing. Then she sees it, clear as a chimera. It's the moon she always wanted. It's here now, right here, beyond the tree. The tangible delusion, its misty radiance fingertips away. She lies still, looking at it, very still, till the attendant's baton jabs at her. The lunatic is walking back from the wall, crooked, clumsy, her legs apart. No, she don't weep, she don't bleed, she don't know it hurts. She's too dazed to utter a small 4-letter word. R-A-P-E. Once the winter is over, they'll come for me. People from home. That's what you said, doctor, didn't you? Yes, tomorrow. Women clamor at his ears, prick his lobes with pledges. Each day he walks the wards, they ruffle, threaten, and cajole, wheedle him with tears and curses, hound him through the entire length. When, doctor, when? He laughs on his lanky legs, the poor wretched thing, and hastens his pace, the rabble at his heels. Tomorrow, he winces. Tomorrow. There is no other way. Tomorrow is the only word he knows, closest to the end of time. Beat the flight out of their fucking minds. Grill them, drag them, shove them in the bin. Strip them, shave them, strap them, break them, split their skulls with electric things, char them with sanity. Make sure they crack it. There were other aspects to being confined, aspects which took me a long time to fathom. Each day unfolded for me something I could not understand at that point of time. Obviously, I could not in my dreams comprehend that for some, the term confinement could be a synonym for the word freedom. There was this one woman who kept coming back to the ward, beaming. She would purposely do something or the other at home for her people to send her hurtling back to the ward. Each time she'd walk in, the doctors would nod their heads and smile. "Aa gayi? Back, huh? Feel at home now?" "Yes, doctor. Now I feel much better," she'd grin. "Isko bhi चैन नहीं है जब तक ये वापस ना लौट आए." A nurse next to me grumbled in not such a low murmur. The sparkle in her eyes remained with me for a long time. Do not be sorry for my world. Within this confinement, I live with freedom, a luxury you cannot afford. It will be difficult for you to look into my face and not see yourself. This was my last evening in the ward. I had been tired and sleeping in the veranda, my notebook slinked to the floor. Life continued to happen around me, but I was oblivious of it. I was in a different reality. I was not an observer anymore. I was the subject. I was one of them, the women. That somehow was comforting. Just lying there, taking in the sounds, allowing myself to receive, to just be. There is something rotten inside of you, in your flesh, the stench of sanity. It breathes in your eyes, this thing. Something decadent in your soul, decaying. It will be too late. You will die of it. This thing that sleeps with you night after night like an aging, wanton woman, spent but not quite spent. And she waits for you to dump her in some dark street corner, yet she follows you, drunken whore. There's no getting away for you. You will die of it. This thing that breathes inside of you, in your soul, the stench of sanity. A darkness starts filling me up, rising like water, moving up my limbs, the chest, the neck, filling my face, reaching the eyes. A liquid darkness, its cool, transparent glow, the glow of death, a near-death brilliance, sensation of nothingness, the sense of being embalmed in cold, wet weeds, floating in the liquid dark, suspended against will or dream. I feel the black rise within me, the opaque liquid inching up, the temples, then hair roots, a cryptic cold spreading to scalp. Beyond this, the dark dunes, no wind, no sound, just immense stretches of cold black sand, and me wading through no return land. To Sylvia Plath. Autumn night, empty veranda, down the dark cemented floor, just one broken sound. Feet of glass crackle and drag.